Hey guys, you're looking at the new Nikon AW130, AW meaning all-weather series. So you have a rugged body, kind of a camera that can withstand, let's say, up to 30 meter of waterproofness, and also you can drop this camera, meaning it's shockproof from a maximum of up to 2 meter height. So you can see all those chunky dials and ruggedness, those coat around the body up here. But inside you get a 16 MP CMOS sensor, 1 by 2.3 inch sensor size, and this one costs about $300 or about 17,000 INR, and it's quite light actually, 221 grams. And that's a Nikon lens, 5x optical zoom lens, and in 35mm equivalent you have 24 to 120 mm, that's the focal range, and you get an aperture range of 2.8 at 24 mm and 4.9 at 200 mm. So at 200 mm not quite fast, but still okay. You can see waterproof till 20 meter and shockproof till 2.1 mm. Also shoots at full HD, but only a max of 30 frames per second. It's all plastic body. This part is also plastic. It has nice texture actually. The buttons are very hard to press at times, and specifically this dial here, those are not very easy, not smooth. But I think to be rugged you need to adjust some of your comfort. Yes, so you have that on the front side you have the lens and the flash autofocus assist button, the grip which is almost a non-existence actually. You have your NFC tag. It supports NFC as well as Wi-Fi, as you can see. On top you have a shutter release button plus the power button. And then on this side you have multiple buttons, your speaker and let's say Wi-Fi, then your GPS, some of the other things. On this side you go ahead and press this and rotate this to open, and inside you would find the ENEL12 battery plus SDHC card slot. Also have the provision of a micro HDMI, and this one is the power outlet, so you can charge or transfer your data. It's a micro USB 2.0 port. That's a good thing. On the back side it's a non-touch screen. You cannot articulate it. The 3-inch TFT OLED monitor. You have your zoom lever right here, which is very uncomfortable, and that's again dedicated video button, equally uncomfortable. And some of the other usual buttons you can see below. You have the tripod mount, and that's about it. So it overall feels nice. It's very pocketable. I also like this army kind of a look. You also get it in different colors like yellow and black and all those stuffs. So let's go ahead and show you the menu, which is very well laid, but the display is rather low res. So that's the one. And then you go to the menu and you see very well laid out, large font, very clean. First you have the shooting mode there. Then you can go and you can change from scene, all those, and then you can go to auto mode. You do not have a shooting mode, you don't have a semi-automatic mode, mind you. And then first the shooting mode you can change, that's your image size. Max is 16 MP, as I told you before, white balance. And then you also have continuous high and low, and it also actually can go up to 120 FPS, but the file size would be significantly smaller. Autofocus area mode and some of the other things. And then you get a dedicated video button. You see movie option, max it goes is full HD 30 fps. This dial is very uncomfortable, mind you. And autofocus area mode, movie VR and stuff. So it uses electronic VR for movie and optical VR for still. And then your connection settings, Wi-Fi, and then your GPS settings, and then you also have system settings. You can go to monitor and you can show what info it should show. I generally switch on the framing grid, and then you can also switch on or off the digital zoom. I generally always keep it off because digital zoom does not enhance the quality at all. So that's about the user interface. I like it. It's although it's low res, but then it's actually quite user intuitive and easy to navigate. The images are decently sharp in the center, however softer towards the edges, specifically the left edge. Now the saturation and hue are proper, and the camera is also giving out color more towards the natural side, which is a good thing. So it's not oversaturating some of the more vulnerable color palettes like, let's say, green or pink or red. So those who want to see more more colors popping out, they might be disappointed, because these are JPEG files, so you cannot edit them much as well. As far as skin tone is concerned, it's neither warm nor towards the cold temperature, so that's good. However, I just have a feeling the camera is kind of just making the skin fairer than it actually is, meaning it might be throwing out some detail as to make those skins a little fairer, just like the front cameras of some of the phones. It has chromatic aberration at the corners or at the sides, however not noticeable or not nowhere near uncomfortable levels. The lens has a fair bit of distortion, and you can see in this image the rightmost building is almost bent, so that's keystoning. That's the wide end. So whenever you go to the tele end, you see most of the distortion disappear. However, there's still some pin cushion left. Again, you can verify that by looking at the rightmost part. However, no visible pin cushion or barrel distortion as such. The camera has a macro mode, which is good. So we focus on the midriff of this mushroom here, and we could go fairly near to the mushroom. However, because of the sensor size, the depth of field is not very shallow. And here comes the bokeh. The bokehs are almost non-existent, and when there are slight bokeh, they are not round, they are kind of slightly elongated. The metering and white balance looks quite okay. We cannot talk much about the dynamic range of the camera because the output are not raw, so obviously we won't be able to recover as much detail as we would have liked for the camera. But still, the JPEG are with I think decent amount of dynamic range, so we won't go too deep into it. As far as ISO performance is concerned, up to about ISO 800, the photos are quite printable. ISO 1600 is still uploadable to web. I think 32 and beyond that are totally crap, don't use those. As far as video is concerned, again, like the photos, they are sharper at the center, but towards the edges there are significant fuzziness. As you can see in the video, in the beginning on the left side, if you notice, you'll see the grass almost go out of focus. The saturation and hue in the video are also fine, slightly at towards the a lower saturation level, in fact. However, I like the smooth transitioning of the autofocus from the background to the foreground to your subject. It's really good for videography, rather than jumping off the autofocus. So that's a good thing. So then, what do you think about the Nikon AW130? The AW110 and 120 were well, not widely popular, but they were kind of okay. We found that it was mainly the rugged feature for which Nikon was charging a premium. That's not very far from truth for this model as well. However, you got some nice goodies like your NFC and all, and picture quality also have improved from the last model. You have 30-meter waterproofness and the 2.1-meter shockproofness, which is another good. And overall, I like the build quality of this camera. You definitely would not go scuba diving with this, but for smaller snorkeling or those kind of activities, I think this camera should be just about good. If you like this video, please hit the like button, ask about anything related to this, and we'll try to answer them. And please subscribe to our channel and share this video to share the love. Thank you.